I'm back on. I'm back on. I'm back on, back on, back on. I'm going to move quick. I tried to get back on as soon as I can. Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? Let me know that's better. And so, as we are moving to this place where God is, we have to understand that God is not going to give us what we need if we are not ready. I don't know why I snap, crackle, and pop. Is that better? Um, and I understand why things are happening the way it is. I'm very clear. Um, and technology is what it is. I am going to. I'm gonna keep talking because this is what I know. This is what I know. I know that there are moments when God gives us what we need, and God is giving us reprieve. God has given us a reprieve. God has given us an opportunity to get rest. God has given us an opportunity to sit with God and wait with God and be able to create and co-create with God. It's not by happenstance or chance that um, um, that the fellowship team now is where the Smiths and that idea of those who are creating with God. Um, it is our responsibility to hear God and hear God clearly and hear God in a way that allows us to sit in and sit with and sit by and forth with the presence of God and how God responds in the earth. God's going to respond in the earth through us. But if we don't hear, if we don't listen, if we're not paying attention, we're going to miss this opportunity that God is getting ready to give us in the next season. I want somebody to get Pastor Anika on because there is a word for her. There is a word for her, and if not, I'll inbox her. Wherever we are, we have to know that we are a divine expression of God. We have to know that we are sitting right smack dab in the image of God. We are sitting in with God. We are sitting in heavenly places. We are sitting where God is. And where God is, God's people is. God's people are there. But if we are not hearing clearly, if we're not focused in, if we're not paying attention, we're going to miss. We're going to miss where God is if we cannot be still and know that God is God. We're going to miss because traditionalism is out the door now. God ain't interested in all that traditional stuff. We got to do it this way and that way. God is saying, a greater work shall you do. But what is the greater work if you still are being concerned about putting on a suit for communion? Why you can't do communion in sneakers, basketball shorts, in the tank top, in a t-shirt? Why you can't do communion in sandals? Why you gotta put on pantyhose in a full? Now, don't get me wrong. There is a place for all of that. Because I'm a stickler of protocol. I am. How people wear certain colors and what they should have on and how people should, what they should be wearing and stuff like that. I'm a stickler for it. If you ain't no bishop yet, if you're not a bishop yet, you shouldn't be wearing red. If you ain't a presiding prelate, no, I'm a stickler for it. But there are some things in its place that some stuff church does is not necessary anymore. People are not going to come to church for that. And some of us have to be okay that people are not coming to church for that. People have to be all right with whether or not, we are online for Bible study or not. Be on somebody's Bible study. And matter of fact, be in the Bible study that you're supposed to be in at your church. So your time, your talent, and your tenth at your church. If you say that God has called you to a church and a church body and you have a church family, sow into them. Because every time you miss an opportunity to sow, you miss an opportunity to bless somebody else. Because you do know, it says if you bring your time and talent and talent into the house, that there may be meat, that there may be substance, that there may be something that the church can do. And we want to come to the church and we want to make the pastors responsible when something happens in the family and you ain't been to church in a year. You need a letter from your pastor. You call I need a letter and you give me a letter. Well, why? Why you want a letter from me? You ain't been here a year. You ain't gave tithes in 3. And now you want me to give you? No. Pastors are not, that's not the responsibility. The responsibility of pastor is to feed the sheep. Break legs if you have to. Put them over your shoulder. Make sure they're all right. But sheep know their shepherd's voice, and a stranger they will not follow. But come on here. People got to understand that if you're going to be a part of a body, be a part of a body, and then expect if you have not been a part of the body for your pastor to show up. That ain't fair to your pastor. Your pastor got feelings too. So see, just because you're not in the building, keep your responsibility as a member and sow seed into the church where God has planted you. And let me say this. This is not a season for you not to sow your seed and pay your tithes into the church house. This is not the season for you not to sow. In times of lack and in famine, every time there was famine, they sowed. Because this is why I know when you put your seed in the ground, it's got to come up no matter what. It's got to come up. Because somebody's going to water, somebody is going to get, somebody's going to. This is not the sin for you not to, when I tell you this is not in time of famine, so I know it sounds backwards. Why would I sow in famine? I need my money. But what you gonna do with it? When you ain't working, you can't work. You might as well sow it. And if people are giving you a reprieve, take the reprieve and trust God. Sow into the life and the body of your ministry. God has given you a place to be. And if you have not been there, you need to repent. You need to call your pastors. And I know what I'm talking about. You need to call your pastors, repent, and go home. Because this is not the season to be isolated out there on your own. This is not the season for that. This is not the season for you to disconnect. Oh, I'm mad because they didn't. Oh, I'm mad because of the pastor. God ain't there. God is saying, I am speaking a new thing. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Do you know what I am? And the only way you're going to hear God is to still yourself. The only way you're going to know the mind of God and the ways of God is to still yourself. Still yourself so you can hear that still small voice speaking to you. Go home. God is giving your family. Go home. Get connected back to source. Because this is what I know. When you unplug from the source, you ain't got power. Then you got power. You ain't got no power when you unplug from the source. You ain't got no power. Can't nothing come on. You can't turn nothing off. If you are not connected to a source, you do not have power. Period. It's the law of physics, the law of, if I unplug this TV, if I unplug this computer, it ain't gonna have no power once the battery go out. And I can try to turn it on all I want to. I ain't got no power. It's not going to turn on until I plug into the source. Still yourself. Listen for the still small voice. Wait for God to speak to you concerning you. And not about nobody else, because right now this is personal. It's introspection, retrospection, this time for us to sit, wait with ourselves, it's time for us to sit, wait by ourselves and sit with ourselves. I'm in Ohio, isolated, alone, but I know why I am here. I know the reason that I am here. I know what God is saying to me for me. Now God's giving me words for other people, and I'm going to give it to them as God give it for me to give it. But if the divine don't say nothing to me about you, I ain't saying nothing. I'm going to pray. I'm going to ask God to give you what you need. Then I'm going on because I don't have nothing to do with that. In this season where we are, we need to listen to the still small voice, that small speaking voice, that voice that speaks to us, that voice that directs us, that voice that leads and guides us. I will lead and guide you into all truth. And the text says that God seeks those that would worship, and they that worship was worship in spirit and truth. Honey, we so spirit filled, honey, we ain't got truth about who we are. We don't know who we are. We don't know who we are. We don't know why we're here. We don't know our purpose. We don't know. I'm just here. Really, what have you been called to do? It's in the still small voice that God directs us for what we're supposed to be doing. And in this season, I believe that God is giving us direction. I believe that God is giving us what we need. I believe that God is going to show us what to do, how to do. I believe that God is going to give us everything that we need in this season. God is not a God that will lie. Neither does God have to repeat, because what God said, God will do. But can you wait? Can you hear? Will you work? Will you do what you're called to do? So see, go home, sit with yourself, connect with your leadership, connect back to the source. Connect back to the source of life, the source of joy, the source of being. Some of us have not laughed and God knows when. We just bottled up. We just oh, what's me? Honey, I want to be no around my own. Nobody who's got pity party going on. I don't want to be around nobody that's got a pity party, because in this season the body is taking on stress. Your body won't get well and won't be well, won't stay well if you take stress into your body. If you take anxiety, the Bible says, be anxious for nothing. Release the stress. Release the anxiety. This is the time God has given us a rest. This is the time that God has given us a respite. This is the time that God is speaking in this still small voice. Rest yourself. Be easy with yourself. Be kind with yourself. Get to know yourself, because some of us don't know ourselves. We don't know what we like. We don't know. Get to know you. This is the season. Arthur, I pray for you now, Arthur. I pray for you now. I pray for your spirit. I pray that you be lifted in your spirit, Arthur. I pray that you be lifted in your spirit. As I close, if you know somebody that was supposed to be hearing this and seeing this, share it. Share it, because this is what I know. I see you, Mary. How are you? We have to understand, and I see everybody on that. I had to come back out and on. I see everyone back on. When you know who you are and who you are, you can sit back and rest. You can sit back with the confidence. You can sit with insurance that you know that God is not going to drop you. God is not going to drop you. God is not going to leave you. God will never fail. God will never fail. I don't care what we face. God will never fail. And as we wait for that still small voice and that still speaking voice, and God is still speaking. God is still speaking in that still small voice, and we are waiting. I know that God will answer. I know that God will come to the rescue. I know that God will bring you right into the space where you need to be, but you have to trust God, and you got to let everything be where it is. Some of us disconnect from TV, from the news. It's too much. I'm praying for all the empaths and the healers. I'm praying for you all, the people that have that feel in your bodies. Take a woosah. Take a woosah. Take a woosah. Take a woosah. Breathe. 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 Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word. What is the word? Be still and know that I am God. Wait for the still small voice. Wait for God to speak to you specifically, individually. Because in season, God is speaking to you, not in the collective. God is speaking to the pastors and the bishops and the apostles for the collective. But in this season where you are shut in by yourself, God is speaking to you specifically about you. And the next phase and place and space of your life. God, I trust you. God, I know that you are going to lift us up. But if we would only just sleep, because the body and the heart can't function. When you don't sleep, the heart has to work extra hard to pump. When you're tired, you can't process, you don't process well. When you're tired, you're emotional. When you're tired, you're all over the place. Your emotions are all over the place when you're tired. You're cranky when you're tired. You hear differently when you're tired. You respond differently when you're tired. Your action is different when you're tired. So rest. There remains a rest for the people of God. And I pray now in the name of all that's pure and holy. And I'm going to pray. It's 3:07. I had only 2 moments. And I wanted to keep my hour. There are a few of us on this call, and I have both my phone and my pad on. If there is a prayer request that you want me to lift it up, put it real quickly. Put it up. Put it up real quick. Because as I pray, as I close, be kind to yourself. Be kind to the people that you're in the house with. Be sweet to yourself. Be sweet to the people in the house you're with. Because some of us are in places where it's not so safe. Some of us are in shelter in with abusers, with their abusers. Children and men and women alike are sheltered in with their abuser. I'm praying for them. I'm praying for the elders that are alone. I'm praying for the seniors that are alone, that are by themselves. I'm praying for Emmanuel. Put up peace. Yes, Christopher. I'm praying for peace for David. I'm praying for Mount Gilbert. I'm praying for your wife as she's fighting the virus. I'm praying. Dr. Renault, I'm praying for your strength. I'm praying for all those that are on the front lines. I'm praying for pastors, apostles, bishops, preachers, ministers, prophets. I'm praying I'm praying for those that are on the front line. I am praying, yes, Renee, pray away the anxiety of those that have to go back to work, that the anxiety stays away when they are at work. I'm praying for those who sit and wait to hear for the collective body. Praying for you. Yes, yes, yes. I'm praying, Jarvis, as people are in unsafe work environments. My niece, she works for the post office. Somebody dropped dead from the coronavirus, and they gave them the little flimsy mask and made them go back to work. I'm praying for all the essential workers that have to be surrounded and connected to those who are sick. I am praying for the families who have lost loved ones due to this virus. Hassan, I'm praying for you, sir. I'm praying. I am praying. Pastor Amandale, I'm praying for your clear direction. I'm praying for all those who have lost loved ones, who have lost family, those who are working with children, who still have to work with children. I am praying for you. Jarvis, I come against the spirit of fear. God does not give us a spirit of fear, but of love and of a sound mind. I'm praying that the fear that has torment, I'm praying that it is released, loosed away. I pray that it goes to dry places. I pray go to hell. I speak now, and I bind to us the spirit of perfect love that casts out fear that has torment. I bind it to our necks. I tie it to our bodies. I tie it to our wills. I tie it to our emotions. I tie it to our very beings. The love of God, the perfect love of God that casts out fear that have torment. I pray now for perfect love that casts out the fear with torment attached to it. I am praying now that we get to sit in a place of God, give us peace which passes our understanding, and let it guard our hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. I pray now in the name of Jesus, the living Christ. I pray now in the name of everything that's pure and holy. I pray now in the name of God that God, you will hear us. You will attend to our prayer. I pray exposure now to the undercurrent and the underpinning of this virus and what happened in politics around the White House on 45. I told you the three things that I'm going to pray for, and I've been praying for those things. I pray that the virus stops. I pray that it ceases. I pray that it ceases. I pray now in the name of Jesus that it goes. I pray that it does not take anybody else. I pray that it does not affect anything else. If it's already been affecting and already infected, I pray that it runs its course and does not take any more life. God, let your will be done. Let your sovereign will be done. And I'm not sitting in the place where I'm not clear about what I'm talking about, because I'm clear that it will take more lives, but I'm asking God, let it stay. Put a stay on it. Stay. You're in Norfolk, praying for the people in Norfolk State University. Students are still there with no place to go. Juanita Wynn, I see you. Help us. Help us. Help us. And those without the resources. The 3, 4 that does not take lives. The unpenetrated as it comes to our initiation of it. I'm praying that I'm praying for full exposure. Full exposure. Because we're getting bits and pieces. We don't know it, but the full exposure. And the last thing that I was praying for was those that didn't have resources, those that could not get to the resources. That I'm praying that we are able to get to them. And so, as we close, God, as we are kind to ourselves, as we sit with ourselves, as we come to the end of this live, God, I'm praying now that you would touch everybody under the sound of my voice. As we are sharing this, as we are sitting with each other, as we are being kind to ourselves and one another, as we are allowing our human selves time to repair. Our humanity needs to get back to being human, and human beings and not killers and not vultures. And we stop commodifying human bodies as stock, that we don't get rich off dead bodies. I pray now that those that are on the outside with the rituals and the rites and all, that whatever they're doing, that they're using human bodies to stop. And they're making money off of dead people's bodies. And so I thank you now that you are causing us the wherewithal to be kind to one another, be kind to ourselves, be kind to humanity, be kind to the earth. And so we thank you, God, that as we close, that you be with us in powerful, tangible ways, as we obey the law of the land and stay in, as we love our neighbor as ourselves, as we shelter in, let us have enough food. Let us be what we need to be to each other. Let us be what we need to be to ourselves, kind and gracious and loving. And let the fruit of the Spirit come up and elevate. And I want you to know that I love you. I want you to know that I am praying for you. I want you to know that PT is holding you up. I am getting ready to get back to these books and get back to my assignments, because I still have homework. But I want you all to know that I love you, and be well to that time. If you like, so we'll see. My stuff is up. My cash app is God's Mouthpiece 0721. So we'll see in somebody else's life. Send some tissue, send some wipes. If you have enough, send it to somebody. If you can take a plate, if you're not completely showed in, or food Friday and send it. If you know that they need it, send it. Because this is what I know. In the seasons of lack, that's when you sow. In the seasons of lack, that's when you sow. In the seasons of lack, that's when you sow. Get connected to your source and wait for the still speaking voice. I'm praying for you all. I love you. Be well. Bye-bye. Miss you.